It's Thursday, January the 8th, a very pleasant one indeed, and we welcome you to a perfect morning starter right here on Channels Television. I am Bukola Koga, blessed always amongst men. Hi guys. I missed the memo yet again.
You actually got the memo.
Well, a shade of the memo.
Which is better than nothing.
All right. I'll be compensated with that. You're looking good, by the way.
Thank you. You're looking great.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome to the program. I'm Jeffrey Ozama.
And I'm Coyote Okigili. You know, sometimes you need that very soft side of things to start off the day, so you can have a soft tone for the whole day. They say it really matters how you start your day. And I think a lot of people should pay attention to the first 5 minutes of your waking moments. Join the morning brief. Let us give you a dose of all of the things happening. How is that for promo?
Very apt. Yeah.
So let's get right into it. The ICPC released a statement yesterday, and it's not closure really. It's just an update to something that started last year. You recall the back and forth between billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote and, well, the former head of the NUPRC, engineer Farouk Ahmed, culminated into his NMDPR, forgive me, and culminated into his resignation. Well, some say it wasn't linked. Of course, the NUPRC head also resigned, right? That's why NUPRC is in my head. But guess what? The ICPC has now put out a statement saying, on the one hand, it has received a letter dated January the 5th, which is just 3 days ago, which is a notice of withdrawal of a petition against engineer Farouk Ahmed, right, by Dr. O.J. Onoja and Associates. That's a legal counsel to Alhaji Aliko Dangote, senior advocate of Nigeria, O.J. Onoja. But the ICPC did not end there. It said, yes, we got that letter. It states that the petitioner has withdrawn the petition dated December the 18th. You recall that everybody saw when that petition was submitted. It was on video. But the ICPC said because this matter is in the interest of Nigeria and the people of Nigeria, that the investigation is still ongoing. So it's important to state that clearly from the statement which was signed by Okor Ode, who's a spokesperson and head of media and public communications at the ICPC. So the ICPC says it will continue to investigate this matter in line with its statutory mandate and in the interest of transparency, accountability, and the fight against corruption for the benefit of Nigeria. So we saw that petition being submitted. A lot of people must have missed the letter withdrawing the petition, but ICPC says, well, we're not going to stop the investigation. And for me, guys, I think that is good to hear.
I'm totally in agreement with the ICPC. In fact, Aliko Dangote should come and testify in person. If somebody is living above his means, as he alleged, to the tune of $5 million to pay his children's school fee, I think per year, when his salary perhaps is less than $100,000, then he should come and answer questions. There's no backroom negotiation because this is already in the public domain. When we talk about Nigeria and getting the country better, these are the pointers, these are the signals, these are the optics we talk about. That petition was barely written, led to the loss of his job. Komalafe became part of that casualty as well, and maybe several other persons. So I am totally in support of the ICPC. And there's another set of people we need to call out, guys. These people call the Code of Conduct Bureau. I really don't know what their work is besides documentation. Because politicians will come who have little or not much of resources in terms of wealth, and then they become super rich, and then nobody's holding them accountable. There are so many politicians, I mean, from the highest to the lowest level in this country. Today I don't want to cause trouble, even though I would have mentioned names. They cannot explain how they made their money.
But the facts are the facts.
Yes, they cannot explain how they made their money. There is no way you are paid, because their pays, we know how much they are paid. At least it's public document. Yes, we know how much they are paid.
And against lifestyle.
Yes, we can also, speculate as to, okay, maybe gift or whatever, and just join that. But the amount of money some politicians have, there is only one way you can have that kind of money. You stole. There are no two ways about it. Some of these guys have billions and billions of naira in their account. What were they before they became politicians? And then you ask them questions, they are answering you from both sides of their mouth. So I think places like the ICPC, EFCC, what's the other one again? CCB, is it?
Yeah.
And they even have a tribunal. I don't know how effective that tribunal is. So this should be a pointer case. So look, ICPC, please, we're backing you on this. No backing down. Nothing should happen to this case. If indeed the man is guilty, let him go to jail. If he's not guilty, clear his name. And the person who alleged, which is Aliko Dangote, an industrialist we're all proud of, should go forward and present his case and make sure we give this closure as much as possible. And I think we should legislate as well, guys. I know that our law says that you are innocent until proven guilty. That's what our law says. But I think there are certain levels of weight of allegations. If you have them and the court has not cleared you, we should not see you running for Senate, giving an appointment or considered for anything until you're cleared. These are the things that people look at and feel that Nigeria is not a serious country. I don't believe we're not a serious country. It is the handlers of our country that are not serious people. So this case cannot die. We will be on it until we get results.
Well, I wish I were as optimistic as you, Jeffrey, because the wheels of justice do grind slowly, and I'm speaking also experientially in that space. But beyond that, you know, the ICPC is doubling down on, you know, going ahead to you know, prosecute this case until it reaches its logical conclusion. As far as that is concerned, because of the implications of this case, then it should receive the support of everyone and every institution in that mix, including the judiciary and, you know, those that should investigate. We are certainly not satisfied with the position expressed by Dangote Petrochemical Refineries to withdraw this petition. We want to know also why you know, they're now withdrawing the petition. What exactly is the nature of the reasons informing this? Because this bothers not just on national interest, as ICPC has said, but also on the credibility of an individual. Children were drawn into this particular case. When we heard, you know, on national television, the founder of Dangote himself talking about the spendings of Farouk Ahmed exceeding, you know, what he earns as a public servant, you know, and paying upfront, you know, for his children's school in Switzerland. Children have been brought into the mix. The credibility of an individual has been put, you know, in big you know, question, in huge doubt. So we must see this case to its logical conclusion. We must see ICPC backing up its resolve to investigate this case with action in the coming days, with hearings, without any forms of delay. It shouldn't be, you know, reminiscent of the FCC chairman who put his job at stake to prosecute former Kogi governor, and then what we have seen so far is, you know, movement really without motion in the prosecution of former Kogi governor. In fact, you know, we hear that he is contesting for Senate in the next general election. So where is this case leading, you know, anyway? And so the justice system must, you know, ensure that this case goes to its logical conclusion. We must be taken seriously as a nation for once. We must see justice served on either party, you know, in this case. Guys?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's important to state this unequivocally. First, why was it withdrawn anyway, if it's a case that is solid, particularly because it borders on our commonwealth, it borders on our image, it borders on integrity? I mean, the impact of this is really large. Why was it withdrawn in the first place? Again, it was withdrawn, in quote, silently, because we didn't have all the cameras that followed when it was submitted, following when it was withdrawn on the one hand. And in case you're wondering, what is the NMDPRA? Is a midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authority. It's responsible for the midstream and downstream operations of Nigeria's petroleum industry. So, you know, that is really, really big. So That is where we're at right now, and this is a case we're going to follow. But what more do we have for you on the program today? Well, sports is still hugging the headlines. The 2025 AFCON is still on. We're supporting Nigeria to lift the cup. But there are reports that the allowances and bonuses for the players have not been paid for at least 3 to 4 matches, even more. So what exactly is playing out? We'll be having a sit down with the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Mr. Shehu Diko, to really understand why this issue keeps coming up again and again.
Well, beyond sports, there's also a touch on the justice system against the backdrop of allegations against a particular pastor, Chris Okafor, whose story has been making rounds on social media in the last couple of weeks. So Commissioner Allowances joins us to discuss not just his case, but other matters as far as security is concerned in Lagos State.
And from there, we'll talk politics. Labour Party. Well, INEC says, no, we can't give you access to all of the things that you want access for. The area council election is coming up, but INEC has not given Labour Party access to upload candidates because they are saying the leadership of Abure has not been recognized. We'll bring you up to speed as to what is the fate of the Labour Party as we speak. And of course, the vice presidential candidate in the last election, he says he's not joining the ADC with his principal, Peter Obi. So where is he going? Where is he staying? We'll find out today on the program.
Oh, absolutely. And what is playing out in Oyo State is a sad one. 5 Oyo forest rangers were killed by terrorists. Reports say they numbered about 12 or more. Now, this is in Oyo State, southwest Nigeria, borders Ogun and Lagos State. What exactly is playing out? A lot of people fear that this may escalate into something bigger. So we'll have a sit down again with the representative of government, the advisor to the Oyo State governor on security, joins us on the program today.
All right, so that's basically our outlook for the program. It's going to be a good one if you stay with us, so we can help you make sense of what is playing out in the polity, from security to politics and sports and even more. But for now, we'll be back in just a moment to bring you what the headlines and the dailies are leading with on the headlines. Stay with us. Welcome back. Let's bring in our guest analyst, Ambrose Igboke, the chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts in Enugu State. Mr. Igboke, Happy New Year, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Happy New Year to you guys. I seem to have a good time because you are all looking very fresh.
It's the grace of God. Let's say it like Nigeria. And you're looking great as well. Mr. Igboke, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. It's leading with politics. 2027, PDP faction to hold talks with Obi Atiku. ADC Taunt says win Atiku, Obi to where? As it's ready to work with like minds to rescue Nigeria. ADC, not PDP, is way forward according to Atiku's camp. PDP is in crisis. Can't woo Obi obedient movement. So those are the riders as far as the politics has actually started way before now, but of course it's building up to what will eventually be a crescendo. What do you make of this headline?
It is interesting, and there is this lexicon to rescue. Has been our lexicon since the first coup of January 15, 1966, where some group of people said they want to rescue Nigeria. And then I think the politicians borrowed that. Every time you want to rescue, what are you rescuing? They come back, they come to power and do worse things. So Nigeria should not be fooled by all these rhetorics about rescuing Nigeria, because where they're coming, I mean, there was nothing in the most recent history of political history of Nigeria. 2013, 2014 was a crescendo where the the propaganda of the APC was top-notch, and they said they were coming for change. We didn't know that it was a worse change, not a better change. So when you say you're going to rescue, with the experiences of the past 12 years, 10 years and 12 years, is something Nigerians should not forget in a hurry. Of course, 2026, as you rightly said, is the year of cementing relationships, forging new alliances. Defections were done last year. This year, for time for consolidation, because the primaries are going to be done this year. So there will not be time for moving around too much. There will be time for just consolidating your position, whatever political party you find yourself, and seeking for political relevance, as well as maybe clinching tickets for contests. That is what will happen this year. For people, I'm surprised that Dr. Ahmed said he's sticking to LP, so that is political choice. ADC is going to have a very strong, maybe internal crisis if they don't handle the ambitions of Atiku Abubakar very well. Atiku Abubakar should be a gentleman and just not contest this election, because there's a gentleman's agreement within the political elite that power will rotate between the northern part of the country and the south of Nigeria. And this gentleman agreement has, they've stuck to it. So Atiku is trying to disrupt this harmony, and it's not good. For a personal ambition, he should not come forward to disrupt what has been working for Nigeria, because he tried it in 2023, where a northerner just finished 8 years. He wanted to come in to rule another 8 years. That is unfair, and that is ungentlemanly. So this time again is coming forward. So I think he should just stay and ensure that he's supposed to be an ADC to clinch the presidential ticket. As for the PDP, rooting and trying to get alliance with Obedient Movement, it's a shame that they're happy to be in their, by this time 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they're happy to be in their camp. And before they went on a self-implosion, voyage that have made them a nonsense of what the might they once had. I don't think any serious party or alliance will want to form an alliance or collaborate with PDP towards 2027. For now, they don't matter.
Well, from politics, let's head over to the New Telegraph, which takes a look at what has been the talking point amongst Nigerians since January the 1st. And it's from the perspective of the labor organization. NLC slams new tax laws, queries FG borrowing. Don't agonize over injustice, organize to fight it. Oshomole tells Labour. Obasanjo reveals how Labour reforms ended foreign grip on unions. Dr. Ibuke, is this after the fact, crying after the fact, because there were series of hearings and debates even on the floor of both chambers of the National Assembly as far as the new tax laws are concerned. But now we're hearing more, not just from Labour, but also from the opposition on the need to suspend the new tax laws. What are your thoughts?
Well, you just took it out of my mouth, because the first question that came to my mind after you read that headline was, where was Labour all this while? Where was NLC? So it suggests that NLC is just playing pranks with Nigerians. Today's Ajero-led NLC is going down the history as one of the worst leadership in Nigeria's NLC, because they have not really defended the workers. They have not fought for the workers. They have not intervened for the people. They come on air, make all kinds of media publicity, do engage in some caricature of protests across the country, and then go to sleep. Even the minimum wage, you're going to fight for a good one. They couldn't intervene anymore on various issues. Tariffs were increased arbitrarily, both at the telecoms and electricity. Petrol was taken to the rooftop. Subsidy was removed. Naira was floated. A lot of things that happened in the last 2, 3, going to 3 years now. NLC just was sitting lame duck. Now, all the through the sittings, as you said, nothing has happened. And then implementation, federal government told they were going to implement. Implementation started, and so 1 week later, they are making another media circus I think Mr. Jero and his group should spare us of this shenanigan this 2026.
Well, let's see how other dailies are reporting the big stories, Mr. Igboke. This Nigeria, if we can run through this Nigeria, and it leads with court's order that interim forfeiture of 57 properties linked to Malami. There you have it. Grants 500 million naira bill to former justice minister and wife, as well as a son. And judge warns lawyers against trying to influence him. I mean, for a judge to warn lawyers against trying to influence him, on the one hand, that establishes the fact that lawyers try to influence judges. And it also, well, lends credence to a lot of judges agreeing to be influenced by these lawyers. Mr. Igboke, what do you make of this? I was looking at the list of the 57 properties and I'm thinking, wow, what exactly is going on here?
The judge is correct. We all have friends. I mean, the lawyers and judges are not from Mars. They are all our friends, brothers, relatives, colleagues, friends here in Nigeria. So, and we know what they do. So the justice system needs to be cleansed. There's a lot going on there. So for the judge to cry out, you know what has been happening. For Malami's 57 properties, a man who was just maybe just an ordinary civil servant managing himself as maybe commissioner and attorney general, maybe in Kano State or maybe or somewhere, and then all of a sudden he becomes attorney general, and then within 8 years he has amassed so much. I have always reiterated and maintained that the ability for civil servants or public servants to access funds, to have access to unlimited quantum of fund in Nigeria is what leads to this brazen corruption. Because a director in the ministry, for example, have access to billions. An executive director in an agency of government have access to billions. And so most of the time, if any human being have this kind of access, there's a strong temptation to put your hands there, because at that point, nobody checks you. There's no balancing, there's no threat, you are in charge, you have all the powers, and then you just do. And those who are supposed to check you look the other way. EFCC looks the other way. It's when the man was in office. I'm sure they know about this. But because of, he was in power, perhaps whoever was the chairman was also battling his own case that time. They didn't have the guts to question that. So Malami goes today. Mefele was yesterday. He left. The same government. Properties, 300 properties also were seized from that one. This one again, we have 57 properties. It will continue to reoccur. It will continue to make headlines. It will continue to government. When it leaves, we will see things being unmasked. That is because we have too much access to fund public officers. So the first way to start to curb this is to ensure that public officers and civil servants don't have direct access to fund. And insofar it continues that a director can, steal 23 billion naira cash and all those, and then it will continue to happen. So how do we tighten it? How do we reorientate? How do we reconfigure our public system to ensure that public servants and civil servants don't have access to funds? If they continue to have access to funds, we'll continue to see monumental corruption. We'll continue to hear these cases, and there will be because there are not enough deterrent. I hope this will not enter plea bargain, because it seems the style is steal as much as you can, get arrested, get prosecuted, do a plea bargain, return some, go home and enjoy the rest. If we continue that way, then corruption will continue with us.
It's quite unfortunate. In fact, I think another place that the EFCC, ICPC, and these anti-graft agencies and people that should be checking the book should be looking at should be subnationals, because it's arguable that some of the levels of corruption you see at the national level may even be worse at the subnational level. But let's stay with this Nigerian newspaper. Just at the top right, you see oil prices fall again after Trump says Venezuela to send oil to the U.S. So I think WTI is doing about $56 per barrel. Brent is doing about $60 per barrel. Why this is important to us, because this is our biggest FX earner and our cash cow, at least for now. Maybe in the future, maybe it's going to be something different, but for right now, it's our biggest earner. And we benchmarked our budget, I think $65 per barrel for our assumption for the year. What do you make of this?
Well, the oil market is going to be affected by what is happening in Venezuela. Already, because of what was happening in Ukraine and Russia, well, there was an advantage for some other country because of the oil embargo on Russia. But Russia has still found ways to sell, through the black market, going through China, going through India, and some other sympathetic nations. But what happened in Venezuela, which is one of the biggest oil countries in the world, we affect sale. That means, so what we are saying is that the United States, which is one of the countries that buy oil from us, we have surplus, because from this now they have unlimited access to Venezuelan oil and gas. So they may not need you again. So what happens to the OPEC nations? What happens to Nigeria? So if there may be glut in the market, because apart from the United States having much, so they will have, they may start exporting too, because they already have enough. And the trade balance is also that they are going to export from America products, services, and other things to Venezuela in exchange for the oil, as Donald Trump has said. So this will alter trade balance for a while in the world, especially with the oil-producing countries. And then if push comes to shove, America will start, augmenting and doing things with the Arab nations, for example, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait, and other countries that are friends of the United States, before looking our way. And we must admit that the United States is a very huge market for oil. So now the Petroleum Minister of State should, and the people managing our economy should start looking for alternatives quickly for our oil to say that, so that we can begin to nip these things before they start affecting us negatively. Because if we wait until they start, because we always wait for things to happen, I will start reacting. So this one, there's already the right handwriting on the wall. Let's be proactive so that we can mitigate whatever negative consequences these developments will have on our economy.
Thank you so much for your expertise as well as insight as far as these issues are concerned. But must thank you, the chairman of Guild of Public Affairs Analysts in Enugu State. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me on the show this morning.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back after this break, we're talking sports. The Super Eagles will be out against Algeria on Saturday for the quarterfinals at AFCON. But there's an administrative issue about bonuses and salaries, all that being paid. We're talking with the people in charge in just a moment. Stay with us.
We had barely finished with the Osimhen outburst and the whole back and forth, and then it just hit us yet again. Bonuses for the Super Eagles have not been paid just yet. Goodness me, this is one mountain that we have stayed on for years now, and come on, it's 2025, 2026. So let's get to the heart of this. We're joined on the program by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Mr. Shehu Diko, joins us virtually on the program today. Mr. Diko, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to always be with you.
Well, so what we hear from the camp of the Super Eagles is not cheery at all. We understand that they say they will not be traveling to Marrakesh if they do not get payment for the matches they have played. We understand the match against Tanzania, Tunisia, Uganda, and Mozambique. They've not gotten the bonuses. Mr. Diko, not again. What exactly is playing out?
Well, I don't know where to start. At times, I don't know, the way we report these things at times is a bit complicate things for everybody. Let me just take you through the, first and foremost, I tell you the team trained yesterday, definitely. The team will be traveling today, definitely. But yes, let me give you the timelines of how the issues work. First and foremost, I must tell you that Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, duly approved the budget, special budget for the AFCON as far back as November 14, 2025. But approving the money, we always say that is different from getting the money out. So it takes a time for the money to be processed through finance, through Office of Accountant General and CBN and stuff like that. So that is done. But what we did is that if you recall that before the start of the tournament, we show that all the promises made to the players as per the houses, the land, and everything by the president were delivered to the players in camp. And after that delivery, we held a meeting with the players, myself, the NFL president, the board chairman of the Senate and the House Committee, and some other presidency representatives, where we agreed clearly on the bonus timeline, the bonuses for the players for the tournament. What they are getting for the first round, group matches, what they are getting for the second round, and what they are getting quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. All that was agreed. And clearly the players requested that whether they could get some of this in cash, and they were told it's not possible. These bonus are not paid in cash. They have to pay through the banks. That's the normal procedure. That's what they have been paid. The only ones they agreed to be paid in cash are the daily allowances and some other bonuses that were given that will be paid in cash. But the other ones, matches and stuff like that, will be paid through the banks. And the players know that they are not paid match by match or by match or whatever it is. No, it's a tournament of 1 month. As you progress, bonuses are processed through the normal channels and get the players to be paid. So as of yesterday, I think by the 5th of January, the bonuses required for the first round are already at the CBN being processed to be paid to the players' account, and the players knew that. They know the mandate at the CBN, it's being processed. All the daily allowances have been paid in cash, the way it has been agreed. So, but that's normal. The players will be asking, oh, when is the alert coming? When is the alert coming? It's normal to do that. But I don't think any player went out to make a statement or to say this. It started from the usual speculation of what is happening in camp, questions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the players, I think, will start getting their alerts maybe today, tomorrow, as agreed for the first round matches. As they play the second round, the quarterfinals, for the semi-final also, they'll get the alerts for the 2 matches. That is how this is paid. So it is not like they're being paid match by match or whatever it is. So there shouldn't be any issue at the end, clearly, I can tell you.
So Mr. Adiko, if we understand you very well, you're saying the players did not protest in any shape or form, because we heard stories about them not willing to travel and all that. So let's be clear on that first.
No. They did not train yesterday. They trained yesterday, and they're going to travel today. There's always conversation behind the scene within the players, the officials, and everybody like that. But when, like, our media friends, some of them or whatever it is, they always want to break news and say, oh, they want to do this, creating tension in the camps. Remember, even before the tournament started, somebody went and wrote somewhere, oh, the coach is being owed this, and the next thing is all over the place, and another embarrassing moment and stuff like that. Yes, there are always these issues are always a conversation when you're in camp with the players. And I'm sure the NFF, the Sport Commission, the presidency are doing all that they have to do. You can see even the Minister of Finance, State is involved, the CBN are involved trying to get this funds paid. But fundamentally is that the monies for this AFCON are approved and are in process within the right channels. So it's just a matter of when and how they will arrive. So yeah. issue of that they are being owed and that, I don't think should be like the question, because the players know that this money will always come.
My question actually, because I needed that clarity, because it's almost becoming embarrassment. It's almost becoming like a rite of passage. But I'm happy you're putting this out there, and we'll hold you on to the fact that this is the true position of things. But at the core of it is also the issue of trust between the players and the management team, or the managers of our sports, as far as this is concerned. So events like AFCON or World Cup are they're not eventualities, they are planned for many years. So is there a way the management in collaboration with the government, can work such that this doesn't arise, whether by speculation or by fact, such that as soon as a stage is done, the boys get the alert?
Yeah, of course. I tell you, that's the process. The first stage was done. By the 5th of January, the papers are already at the CBN to pay for the 3 matches. It's there. The records are there. But I can tell you, it's because to resolve these issues, that is why the president, I've said this several in several fora, the president late last year made some approvals to restructure the way sports funding, public sports funding are done to avoid this kind of issues, because there could be always delay. I keep saying it, you cannot fund sports the way you fund, for example, you're paying contractor or something like that. If you don't pay a contractor today, for example, the best you could do is just for him to wait, and then until when you pay, they continue work, and then they can come and ask you for variation and stuff like that. But sports is timely. So Mr. President, make a decision. Say, look, we have to make sure we create a system where we resolve this. So he made 3 directives. Number 1, he directed that, look, the budget office and the finance and everybody should work with the sport authorities and ensure that at least adequate funding to cover these competitions and everything are put in the budget. And then he made the second directive that says that from 2026, once the budget is agreed, is passed by the National Assembly, the day Mr. President signs the budget, all funds due for sports should become immediately due and should be released and kept in escrow or whatever it is, so that there will be no delay. Sports trying to get money the same way they're paying contractors. So that's basically what it is. So these changes are coming on board, and I think from 2026 to be easier. But this issue that we are talking about is just the normal conversation between players and officials. Oh, when did this Balabalamu come in? You know, the players always laugh about it. They always want to get, they're like laborers, for example. They always want to get paid as quickly as possible or whatever it is. But they know the money will come. They know nobody delays their money. They receive their money through their accounts. It's not about anybody carrying cash to go and pay them and what have you. So that's basically what it is. But at least from the changes Mr. President have instituted, going forward, we will get these things please more strengthened, so to make it much easier. But you can give credit to Mr. President. He approves all this AFCON, whatever it is, a month before the AFCON starts. But it has to go through the normal process, finance, accountant general, CBN, and stuff like that to come. And the money will still not come in bulk. It should come at the stages it's being progressed. So basically, that is it. But I don't think it reached a level where we see all the headlines yesterday blowing up everywhere and what have you. The players train. The players are traveling today. Yes, the players are asking, when is the money coming? That is true. And the money is coming. And we have even made special arrangements to make sure that they were even paid, even the last match that they played will be paid likely today through another arrangement. But what was agreed to give them in cash between us and the NFF and them has been given to them, which is the daily allowances they have received. The special bonuses they have been promised for the goals scored, they have all received that one in cash because they have scored 12 goals. For the first round, every goal is $5,000. For the last match, it's $10,000, and they have all been paid. So I don't think we should focus more on the football than all these distractions.
Well, it's good to know that a resolution is in sight. You did say that they are aware that their match allowances are processed match by match, but you know we keep hearing this time and again, and it seems as if the process of processing is not satisfactory to the Super Eagles. Hence, you know, these issues coming again and again. But we hope that what we'll be hearing from this point, giving you assurances, is that they will get their bonuses. But let's get to some other issue now, which according to reports you may have been speaking to in recent times. That is the possibility that, you know, our World Cup hopes are still alive. Is it true that you've been talking, and to the effect that FIFA has not decided on Nigeria's petition against DR Congo fielding ineligible players? And how do you view reports about the morality of this anyway? Because according to the preponderance of views, DR Congo played better during that match, hence they deserve to be at the World Cup.
Well, we want to conclude on the players have always been paid. And you know, whenever they are paid, you don't hear about it. It's when there is a bit of delay here and there, you hear about it, because there's always people to report that. But so it's never an issue. The players know that, and it's always the normal thing. So that one is just by the way. Yes, football is also governed by rules and regulations, and part of the rules and regulations is people sticking to the rules. So I think the NFF and us, after the Congo match, we look at it, we find out there are some potential breaches, and a complaint, a detailed complaint was sent to FIFA. It's for them to look at it and make a decision. It's not like anybody not trying to be a sole loser. We have said it over and over again. The World Cup issue is behind us. The focus now is the AFCON. But if there are potential rule breaches, which are also part of the rules, because we have to play by the rules, and we are not talking about ineligible players, we are talking about what we call unqualified players, because there's also a process for a player to qualify to play for a country. If you can, so all those issues have to be decided. And even recently, if you have followed the news, you will have seen that even FIFA have decided similar cases against Equatorial Guinea, against Gabon, even as far as last month against Malaysia, where they were found to use unqualified players, and they forfeited the matches. So it's part of the rules. It's not about being sole loser. We are playing by the rules as Nigeria it is, and everybody has to play by the rules. And if there are breaches, the authorities at the FIFA, they will look at it and they will make a decision. Remember, in 2018, even though we qualified to the World Cup, Nigeria were deducted 3 points, which could have cost us the World Cup because of a mistake of using a player that shouldn't have played the match. So we only qualified to the World Cup because we have 4 points gap between us and the second place. So it's part of the rules. It's not like anybody saying we do on the pitch or we now have to go. No, it's not like that. Rules are rules. It has to be adhered to. The NFF, the Commission have found that there are issues to be discussed, and it has been sent to the right channels, which is the appropriate FIFA body to deal with it, the independent bodies, and they are looking at it. The day they decide it, they will decide either way, and that is it. So we are not fixated about that, but it's with FIFA, and they will decide at the appropriate time. But we believe that the submission made is quite clear, and this allegation has to be investigated about that. Otherwise, anybody can go and get anybody from Brazil, from Argentina, and give them passport in your country, and they play for your country. No, there are rules on that, on how you change your nationality, on how you get the passport, how you play for your country. So.
But do you agree that DR Congo played better than Nigeria during that match, and hence they deserve to be at the World Cup?
The match was decided on penalties. They won the match, so they won the match on the field of play. But it's not about playing better or not playing better. You know, it's about football. One day for you, one day for the other opponent. But that doesn't mean if you play better, even if you use illegal players, you should not be punished. It's not about that. It's about, did you play by the rules? That's basically it. South Africa were deducted points in the same group that we had that we played during the tournament because they hit a player that was not supposed to play. And that 3 points that they were deducted, if not because of their log, they could have missed the World Cup. Because if Benin had beaten Nigeria in Uyo, South Africa would have kissed goodbye. If Rwanda had drawn with them in South Africa, and then the last match, they could have missed the World Cup. And because of that 3 points that they lost. So it's part of the rules. It's not anything about playing better also. Apply the rules the right way.
So, Chairman, are you renewing the hope of Nigerians that we may just go to the World Cup?
Well, the process of putting the complaints is there with FIFA. The appropriate bodies of FIFA are looking at it. I can't decide the outcome. At the end of the day, they have to decide the outcome. But if you look at the precedences, similar cases have been decided by FIFA, by Court of Arbitration of Sports and stuff like that. So it can go either way. It's a matter of court of law. We have presented our case. They have to present their case to defend it. The people that decided will decide it, and then they see what happens. So anything can happen.
All right. So let's put finality to the situation with the Super Eagles. So you're saying that they have been paid, but they've not received it. When were they paid?
I tell you, the papers were at the bank by the 5th of January for the first round. It's already at the CBN. You can see the statement from the Minister of Finance, where she said that herself and the CBN are working very hard to make sure this money goes as quickly as possible. It's there out in the media. So that is done. And also, I think the payment for the last match will be received, I think, today. So all that is issue. But what I want to caution our media friends is that all these things is not about sensationalism. I don't think any player came out to speak to any media to say they're doing press conference or they're not playing. Yes, there are discussion within the camp about, okay, when this money is coming, when this is happening, what are you going to do? The players are professionals. They want to win those matches more than anybody else.
And
but when we sensationalize these issues, we will get those issues. But this I'm sure from today, the CBN has promised they will start getting their alerts. And then definitely for the match against the Mozambique, they will get it today because we have made alternative arrangement to fast track that as quickly as possible.
All right. And you're confirming that they will travel to Marrakesh today?
Definitely. The flight is scheduled to travel. They are leaving camp by 12:30.
All right.
Nigerian time, and the flight is leaving by 2 p.m. And then they will train in Marrakesh by 6 p.m. definitely.
Mr. Sheotiko, we have to thank you. Definitely we'll still be speaking with you in the coming days. But thank you for this update. We've been speaking with the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Mr. Sheotiko, on the issue around unpaid bonuses for the Super Eagles. Thank you for your time once again.
Thank you very much. Let's keep talking about the football, not other things outside the football.
Oh, don't worry. We'll see you on the pitch. We'll see you on the pitch on Saturday, Mr. Diko. And we must win that match. Thank you.
God willing, we get the right result. The players will be motivated, definitely, to deliver. Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, that's one thing that we look to unite us and give us joy. So you forgive Nigerians that they are very passionate about football. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll talk about security in Lagos State. But there's been this case has been hogging the headlines about a pastor. Well, the Lagos State Police has swooped in. What is the situation with Pastor Okafor and security situation in Lagos State? Well, the Commissioner of Police joins us in a moment, so stay with us.
Welcome back. And so from sports, let's touch on something a bit sensitive, and also we'll be looking at security. Now, towards the end of last year, the internet became saturated following a viral video by a popular actress where she alleged betrayal, emotional manipulation, and failed marriage promise against popular pastor Chris Okafor. And since then, many more women have stepped forward to make allegations against the pastor. Now, the pastor, following reports, has since apologized to all those he may have offended, including the actress Doris Ogala. And he has also stepped down from his position. Let's get more insights into this particular case, but also we'll be looking at security-related matters in Lagos State. And so the Commissioner of Police, CP Olorundare Jimoh, joins us now on the program. CP, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me, and good morning to all Nigerians watching us.
All right. As we start off, we'd like to know if there's been any petition, besides what we've been hearing, that has been presented to the police command in Lagos State against this pastor.
Thank you so much. I want to first of all say that we get to know, like you said, on the outcry on the social media have to do with multiple rapes. Equally, some few individuals equally come with allegation of murder, which is a capital offense. Rape too, as well, is a capital offense that we shouldn't tolerate. And based on that, there are other sexual harassment and sexual issues that are pumped up. So it's based on that concern that we deem it fit, I, as the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, that the pastor should be invited. Where he refused to honor the invitation, he should be asked.
CP, just my apology, just a moment. We need to sort out your audio because we understand we have a bit of an issue. So we'll take a break, CP. We'll just come back to the issues and then go to the issue around what is really playing out in Lagos State as far as security is concerned. So just hold on with us. We'll be right back. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Welcome back. CP Lagos Police Command Olorundare Jimoh is still with us, and I would just like you to quickly wrap up your thoughts, and then we'll expand on other matters.
Okay. Thank you so much. So on the Pastor Chris Okafor issue, so we got it on the social media, what you have narrated. cases of multiple rapes. Equally, some individual came up with murder cases that which are all capital in nature. Equally, series of sexual harassment and other related matter. So it is based on that I directed the Deputy Commissioner of Police investigation in the command in charge of CID Panti to swoop in and get the pastor invited. Where he refused to honor the police invitation, he should probably arrest to answer to all those charges. Like you said, petition. Yes, there's a petition filed with the Assistant Inspector General of Police in Zone 2, which we were not aware of. So it was in the process when the pastor refused to turn up on the day, because when he was invited on Sunday over the weekend, his lawyer get across to the CID and said they are going to present him on Monday. So we waited throughout Monday, we couldn't see him, and I said, okay, go and get him, because for those offenses, you need no warrant of arrest to effect the offender. So it was in the process, we were contacted at the zone, and they said they have the case for about 2-3 weeks. They have to do with the actress that you talk about that was involved with him, and they are looking into it. But I still insist that no, that does not stop him from honoring invitation. He should come to the command. So he honored that invitation on Tuesday, and the statement was taken, and since the complainant is there, we sent him there. While we are waiting for our own complainant, quite a number of them have been forwarded to us. So that doesn't obliterate our own investigation with what he has in Zone 6. So we are going to ensure that all the cases reported against him, even if it is on social media, because normally in police procedure, you can report your matter verbally, you can put it into writing. Even if somebody is seen to be somebody of, possibly, I don't want to mention this, somebody that you visibly can see that is not coherent in what he's saying, you still investigate such complaint from those individuals. So we are going to investigate everything that surrounds all the cases that have been reported against him. Where we find the culpability is there, then we are going to go straight after investigation to prosecute him, so that in public interest and for the interest of those who have been violated, one way or the other, that justice is done.
And so, matter. On the side, Kampol, rape is not a capital offense, right? Because it's not punishable by death. Or is it punishable by death?
No, when you say capital offense, it does not necessarily mean either punishable by death or by life imprisonment. A capital offense in nature that is not bailable at the level of the police. And capital in the sense that when you say rape, defilement, you talk about murder, you talk about arson and others. Those are not ordinary offenses. They are capital in nature, for which the offender, if found guilty, can be death or life imprisonment. That depends on the discretion of the judge that is hearing the matter, if to apply the full punishment that is enshrined in the law, or possibly if the level of involvement, because that's when you begin to have first degree, second degree, and even when you come to manslaughter. So the intention and the processes for which an offender has carried out the act, equally dovetail to when we talk about gender of an offender, when some people started the process of an offense, some people continue it, and some group completed it. So all of them are as guilty as those who are in the chain of the offense. So rape is a capital offense, because it can't be life imprisonment.
So the pretext, we don't want to stay on this. Rape doesn't lead to being punished by death or life imprisonment. Is it possible?
No, it can't.
Which law? Which of the laws?
No, when you rape somebody,
no, because we're asking based for public education.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the first time I'm hearing is a capital offense.
Yes, it's a capital offense. Where whether in the penal code, which operated in the north, or in the criminal code act, which is in the south, where you rape a victim and the victim died in the process.
Okay, that's okay.
Yes, it becomes a capital offense. And any injury or pain that inflicted on somebody, and the person died a year and a day after such an encounter, then it goes into murder cases. So rape is a capital offense.
So in that sense, is it about semantics? What you really mean is that it's a major offense that, could be...
It's not major, it's capital. There are quite a number of offenses that you can... The law doesn't say major offenses. Felonious offenses are there. Then those who are capital in nature are equally there. So rape is categorized.
That was really, by the way, just to help people understand what capital means. Capital means it's punishable by death, but apparently rape, if it leads to death, then that's the extreme of it. But majorly speaking now, there are a lot of people who are concerned that this case may end up like, you know, a lot of other cases, that there's a lot of buzz around it, but after a while it just fizzles out. So speak to us first about the resolve of the Lagos State Police Command to ensure that you followed this case through. What exactly transpired when he eventually visited the police? What kind of interaction did you have? And more importantly, how would you ensure that this does not fizzle out?
Thank you so much. You loaded your question about 3 or 4 or 5 questions.
It's a very important one.
We are going to do everything possible within the ambit of the law. Yeah. You know, for every offender too, they have rights. That's what we call the rights, what we call the people in custody. Yeah. The processes for which they will be handled. For avoidance of doubt, nothing is an offense except what the law stated to be an offense. And the law stating of the offense will equally state the procedure for which an offender should be handled. And equally will tell you what are the facts in issue to prove such an offense. Where we have prima facie evidence, once the complainants start trooping in because they've been coming, right, to us, and our promise in our press release that their identity will be protected, because that is key. Where somebody that wants to come out who is equally a member of the church, because we learned that some of them are equally married from some media reports. We are yet to verify that. So we are going to protect their identity, not only at the level of the police, equally give them security, because we have the right under the law to protect our complainant, to ensure that no harms come their way. So we want people to have the boldness to come out and substantiate all their complaints and put pen to paper about it so that we can go further in the investigation. Well, maybe we'll come back to this issue, but just beyond the issue of the pastor, if we have to, I'll come back to the issue of this sexual violence and rape and all of that, because women have gone through hell and warm waters when it comes to these issues, and sometimes what they get when they get to the police is not something quite exciting to report. But let's talk about, this is 2026, this is the 8th day already, but we cannot just walk through and not look back at the performance of your command as far as Lagos security is concerned. So walk us through some of the things that you've done in collaboration perhaps with the government to maintain the peace, because sometimes we highlight the negative, we also need to look at the positive and then marry all of them together to have a robust society. Thank you so much. Before I go into that, because I wish one day you dedicate the program to a lot of achievement that we have achieved throughout the last year, especially in Lagos, from February to December. There have not been any major incident of crime. You are here. If there were any, you'll be able to tell us. This is due to the purposeful directive from the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Adeolu, PhD, Nigerian Police Medal, in ensuring that we are on our toes and ensuring that we do the best to put police in the doorstep of every Lagosian. Outside that, 31 gunboats were launched by the IGP around June this year, and 9 were given to my command. And this now were deployed throughout the river area. And equally make sure that I form a submarine tactical squad to beef up this marine detachment. And we had it all well. No any single incident of incursion through our waterway to commit crime in Lagos happened. And equally is the formation of the Coast Strike Force team, which when I came on board, the state government supported me. The IG provided all the logistics and all the equipment, and they are all working. This to complement the efforts of the RRS, which are on ground, to make sure that we intervene, because they were stationed in Surulere, where they can have free access to the Lagos Island and equally to the mainland in case of any floods of incident. And if you step out of your door, you will see that the deployment were virtually everywhere. So in addition to what we have recently is the upcoming, or what we call the Anti-Crime and Community Protection Squad. These personnel are those that were withdrawn on the directive of the Inspector General of Police from the VIPs, mostly from the Special Protection Unit and from the B-Ops in my command. So we constituted them, instead of then allowing them to fizzle away, to this special intervention squad also, to be able to blow police around Lagos. About 10 locations have been earmarked for them to ensure that we police Lagos. So essentially it has been a success story. And the Mr. Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has been doing a lot to continue to assist us. So with the template that we have in Lagos, like I keep on saying, and I shouldn't be tired of saying it, that the government has set in place even before my arrival, anybody you bring in as Commissioner of Lagos State will certainly perform with that kind of situation, security setup.
Because the reason I'm asking that question, we saw the incident of the killing of the forest guards. Oyo is not quite far from Lagos, and these are concerns that this is a commercial nerve center of the country. So that's why we're asking for this template. And if you can, in addition to what you've said, from your records, how many police were attached to VIPs from Lagos Command? And how many of them have now been withdrawn?
It will be difficult to give you the actual figure.
You should know that.
No, I should.
If the IG, we have about 11,000, so we should know that.
If you tell me to come along with the records, I'll be able to come along with the record for you. But I know they are in the hundreds. And as we speak, we have close to 500 on grant from Lagos that want to deploy for this special intervention. So you don't take me on that, because there can be more than that, because on a daily basis we still get them what they call it out on their duty. Some have already been deployed, but we are creating this special anti-crime patrol squad to ensure also community protection in this regard. The community equally involve the schools, involve the hospital, and involve all the vulnerable funds. But to answer your first question, we are quite familiar with what happened in the state contiguous to us. And I won't be here reeling out what we have done, because the bad guys are also listening. But we have ensured that we step up our deployment around all the area from Ikorodu to Ekpe to Agbowa to Ichede and the other area that are contiguous to other states. And visibly, even in the when you go to Bega, you see the Coastal Force team there. When you move in there, you see the deployment of the area command, the division along. And as we speak, we on regular basis, it was covered by your television station also, what we call the show of force exercise, which have been ongoing from September, and we're still on. Outside that is the convoy patrol on daily basis, so that we'll be able to nip in the bud instantly before anything will snowball into crime and crisis in the state. But I want to take you on I want to answer you, not take you, on the first issue of sexual offenses. We want to encourage women to have the courage to come out. Because quite a number of them live in trauma because they see somebody that violated them walking the streets, because they are not ready to come and lodge complaint about. It is quite easy to prove case of rape or defilement because it's scientific. As soon as you can get help, as soon as you can come to where the police formation is, lodge what we call prompt complaint. We are not saying if you lodge your complaint even after so many years, we are not going to investigate it. But it makes us to be able to get forensic evidence to be able to prove the matter. It's quite easy to send anybody that have committed either rape or defilement to court, and to be able to convince the court that this is the person that have committed the act. Because the essence of every investigation is scientific approach to put the suspect at the scene of crime, that this is the person. So for sexual offenses, it's quite easy.
I'd like to challenge you on that. The experience of SGB survivors with the police is to the contrary. On the one hand, most gender units, we wonder the kind of training that the policemen assigned to those gender units have, because the experience of SGB survivors is that they get a form of secondary abuse there, where they're being asked how the sexual offense was carried out on them. That's on the one hand. The prosecution is slow, such that the police is asking for funds. I don't know if that has improved now, for prosecution, for investigation. They're asking the victims to provide funds for investigation. These are the issues that discourage SGBV survivors, such that they say they're not even pursuing any cases, or those that have experienced such will rather not have an experience with the police.
No, thank you so much. I equally challenge you on that to bring evidence, but not on the show. Anyway, maybe we can discuss that. Because for every police officer, even before now, from time immemorial, we have what we call the JWC, which are mainly populated by women.
because women will have confidence in talking to women. So when it comes to the formation of the gender unit of the force, they have been very, very active, and they've attended training within and outside Nigeria. It's top-notch what they do. In Lagos here, outside the formation of the gender unit by the Inspector General of Police and equipping them, the Lagos State government, I give kudos to the First Lady of Lagos State government, because she has intervened, and equally outside renovating the center, I've equally made sure that survivors don't go through processes of rigor in being able to establish their matter. And of recent, she has commissioned other facilities that she has made available to the gender unit. So it is superb. And on daily basis, equally at the state government level, we have a supervisor in the Ministry of Justice. Mind you, most cases we prosecute, we derive the power from the Ministry of Justice, and they've been involved. So it's been a win-win on all the sides, both for the police, both for the survivor, and both for the government agents that superintend over what you do and supervise it. So it's not the case. The problem lies with the victim themselves, possibly with people who are parents to some of these survivors that are weighing on them because of what they benefit from those who have committed the act. And we have said crime is crime, no matter who commits the crime. And it's equally rampant for you to see instances where parents themselves are the perpetrator of these acts on both sides. But we have put that aside, and we say crime is a crime, no matter who is the perpetrator. Because you see where an uncle, or possibly an in-law, or possibly a brother within the system. But it goes beyond that also to ensure that parents, especially mother, take particular attention to what goes on with their children and what. Because mostly, you see, we have so many cases that are related, but we prosecuted all the cases that comes to us. So I don't want us to be dwelling on hearsay, because in Nigeria, somebody said, without verifying it. We can open our record.
We'd like to see the results of what you're saying in the numbers of SGBV cases successfully prosecuted in Lagos, such that we can know whether indeed your report checks out.
Yes, we made it available to the press of recent. I was there. The First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Kladana Bironketu, was there. The Attorney General of Lagos State were there. Local government chairmen were equally involved, and quite a number of commissioners of the state were equally there. So we reel out all what we have achieved for the year, and they know that it is impressive. And we, outside ruling it out, we want to encourage survival to always come out. And even at the local level, the gender units at the headquarters, we equally have them at the divisional level, where we take over matter that are very, very sensitive, that we feel their capacity may not be able to handle. But we have personnel that have been trained in and outside Nigeria for this purpose, and we are doing well in this regard.
Well, Commissioner, there's so much to talk about, but as we wind down, what is the outlook for 2026? And I'll reel out some of the issues that people have raised. First off, from the arrests that the police, in conjunction with the task force, conducted, the people they call Omotaku boys, or I think that's what they're called. Yes. Right. That's the street urchins, those you find around on the road, doing different things. Some of them were minors. A lot of people have raised issues about that. So what is going to happen with them? I'm packing a lot for you, Commissioner. Secondly, we've seen cases that people go to report to the police, and then you still ask for some sort of mobilization, either to fuel the car, to track your phone that is stolen, and you're thinking, come on, I've come for help. Why am I paying for police to help me? So that's how is the police handling that this year as part of your resolution? CCTVs in Lagos, just how well connected are you with what's happening in Lagos State? Do you have a functional room or control room that you're able to see around? Because there are crimes committed here and there. You see people snatch phones in Lagos, and the people come to the police and they're like, where's evidence and all of that. So those three issues, if there are others, we'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
And you add a tinted glass to it.
And the tinted, thank you very much. And the tinted glass.
If you forget any, we'll remind you.
No, let me start from that. When you talk about tinted glass, the first public relation officer in person of the CSP, Ben Udeyi, has come out severally. And I think we rely solely on what he has directed us through the Inspector General of Police that we should carry out as it has to do with tinted glass. But if we start to discuss tinted glass issue, we may not leave here and it will take a lot. So
you're saying that enforcement
strictly to what the first PRO have said so that we can take time of it. Then secondly, when you talk about the street auction, I think that the period that you are talking about, even before I took over, which we have completely eradicated, you see the 1 million boys going out, people that you are mentioning equally going out, but we've eradicated it to the barest in Lagos. Because if not, you have a large staff here, maybe you should be more than 50 that works around there. One way or the other, one of your staff will have reported such an incident to you. So we've been able to police Lagos to the extent that nobody can commit any major crime on the street. Even the issue of traffic robbery has gone to the lowest level. As at 3-4 days now, I've been reporting no serious incidents reported throughout Lagos State. It's not due to chance, it's due to a concerted effort and everything that we are putting. We are not resting on our hands to ensure that everywhere is safe. You can imagine we have the New Year, the Christmas celebration, we have the Eyo Festival, we have concerts, about 4 or 5 that gather about 60,000 of people at different, there's not any single incident that's happened. That's to say, all our crime prevention and control strategies and other preventive measures that we put in place are working around the world. So that is being done. So when you talk about the issue of fueling, it's yesteryear that you begin to go to a police station and say, oh, there's no fuel, there's no vehicle. Those are gone. Especially in Lagos, the Inspector General of Police, the Ministry of Police Affairs provide us fueling for our patrol vehicle and complemented by the Lagos State government. On a weekly basis, they give us fuel to fuel our vehicle. So it is unheard of that somebody, you want police assistance and they be asking you for no. But ESA will still continue. And Nigerians are good people. When you do good,
so if Lagosians have an experience to the contrary, with police asking them to provide money, a form of mobilization to investigate a case, what should they do?
They should report to me.
No, they can't all get to you.
No, they get me when you have instances like what we have. And on constant basis, they should report to the most senior officer in that the department, who is a DPO, or is an area commander, or is an OC on tactical.
But sometimes the DPOs are alleged to be aligning with the other party in the case.
What we are discussing is just ESA. But if anyone gets to you, get across to me. Get across to me. Okay, but I am saying that it's non-existent. Right. Truly it's not.
Sippy, very quickly, the tinted glass case. Please respond to that. Because
but I think I responded to it.
Okay. The CCTV didn't respond.
Oh, the CCTV.
Sorry, I want you to answer all your questions.
When you talk about CCTV issue in Lagos, honestly, it's superb. We have thousands of cameras on the streets under the Lagos State security management team. Truly. But I cannot tell you this is their locations. We have thousands of cameras. And even Huawei is upgrading them now to AI standard. Honestly, I may be able to tell you that, but I can't tell you their numbers and the actual people. They are in thousands and they have been working. And we have used it to detect a lot of crime, even outside violent crime. Even one of your colleagues in one of the very prominent television station was brushed off the road and her car assaulted into the ditch, and she survived and everybody survived. But we use the CCTV of the state to be able to track the other driver that were involved, and we are able to get that the owner of the vehicle lives on the island, while the mechanics live on the mainland. And it's the mechanic that did that act. So he's working.
See, we're totally out of time, right. My colleague. So what's the number people can call at the HQ? The command, yeah?
Yes, I can give you 2 numbers, which is...
no, CP can call it out if it's possible.
Yes, why not? You can call 08032.
You have to slow down, CP.
You can call 08032569029, or you call 07019852222.
Thank you.
All right. So those numbers, if people have concerns of urgency, security concerns, they can call those numbers.
They can call those numbers, and response will come. So I wish you people can appreciate the Nigerian police force, led by the Inspector General of Police, for all you have been doing to ensure that there's safety across Lagos and the and the entire country.
But I'm getting messages. Maybe the Lagos State Police Command is different from what you're saying, and Nigerians can confirm that from the numbers that you've provided. But I'm getting messages from people in other parts of Nigeria where they reported cases of stolen phone. The police was asking them for 250,000 naira to effect arrest. They beat it down to 150K. That's in Asaba, Delta State. And the police was still investigating even afterwards. And that's after they collected 60,000 naira from the petitioner to make a statement. So we want a better way of doing things in all commands of the police across the Federation. We must anchor at this point, and thank you very much. We've been talking with the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Olorundare Jimoh. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show.
And thank you for having me. Thank you.
We'll take a moment now. When we return, there are more security concerns to address, but not in Lagos, in Oyo State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let's talk about security in Oyo State following that attack, very heinous attack leading to the death of 5 rangers. We're joined on the program by a special advisor to the Oyo State governor on security, a former commissioner of police. So the show is heavy on the heavyweights in the security sector, Mr. Fatai Owusheni. Good morning, Mr. Fatai Owusheni. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, and a great viewers at home.
Well, I must say it's good to see you again. It's been some time, Mr. Owusheni, but I wish it was under much cheery circumstances. That attack in Oyo State shocked a lot of people, particularly because when you talk in security, you're talking in the northwest states, the north central, maybe not Oyo State particularly. So when a lot of people saw that 5 rangers were killed in the old Oyo Park by terrorists, I'm wondering what exactly is going on. So, Mr. Owusheni, speak to us. Who are those responsible for this? How is Oyo State being attacked by terrorists?
I must first tell you, there is no place that is, that cannot be attacked. And when you have your security plans, you have your security strategy. You can't say that you are 100%, on top of what you are doing. If it is not tested, you would not know where you have gap. So I would say that, yes, very unfortunate incident. We commiserate with the families of the people that have been killed. So that means that we've been tested. Like I said, you have all your plans. If it is not tested, you will not know where you have your gap. I've read a lot of comments where people said, oh, these terrorists have entered Oyo State. I want to say categorically is a one-off thing. What has been happening, yes, somehow we are close to Kwara. But what has not happened are far more than what has happened. There have been a lot of proactive measures that Oyo State, with the support of His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, have been doing within that axis. So lots have been prevented through proactive measures. So when it happens like this, it is what it is. So it will make us to have a look at the architecture we have in place. And by the way, from the way the incident happened, you would know, everyone in security would know that this was a targeted, action. Targeted in the sense that they know who the people that attacked, know the targets they want to attack, and they went for it. They must have done their homework very well because those fellows were met there sleeping in that office. And, for us, we would just need to rework our strategy. Rework our strategy in a way that we get an all-inclusive, efforts to put together, because the forest guard as well, there is little that there's in a little way that they collaborate with what the state is doing. And that is probably why most of the state governors have been calling for, devolving some of the security powers to the state governors, because you have a forest guard that is manning that whole Oyo Park, which stretches from Oyo State up to Niger State, who probably, don't get involved in the architecture of the state. A lot of mining activities are going on there. It is a reserve of the federal government. And sometimes when things happen there, because of activities of mining that they will say, oh, it's under exclusive legislative list, you will find out that these fellows, most times, whatever happened there, they hardly get the state security architecture involved. But that is not to say we've not been, up to task. On a periodic basis, huge amount of money is invested to do what we call clearance operation. Huge amount of money is invested by the Oyo State government using the 2 division of the Nigerian Army that has the responsibility that covers up to Kwara State. We've just finished one, but this incident that happened, it is what it is. We will rework our strategy. We would need to strengthen our collaboration to make sure that we also focus on what the forest guard is doing, and of course to talk to them to get the state security structure involved in what they are doing. Because
Mr. Washington, if I may comment, sir.
Yeah, please do.
I know you said it is what it is. I'm sure there's hardly any society where there's no one form of crime or the other. But when it comes to the issue of terrorist attack and even eventual killing of people, then it's a serious problem. So in your analytics post these attacks, what have you found out in terms of intelligence? Who are they? Where were the lapses for this to be successful at a national park? Let me start with those 2.
From the situation report that was received and intelligence that were gathered, these fellows went in there. It's a cross-border thing from Kwara State, and they were shouting La ilaha illallah as of the time they got there. They know what their target was. They went for their target straight away. And once you have a targeted incident like that, they must have done their homework. They met the people sleeping in that office. They went with dynamite and they faced their target. I would say, yes, somehow we are saying no, it's an attack against Oyo State, but it's to a specific target. That notwithstanding, as it has been released by His Excellency the Governor of Oyo State, we will be all out for them. They've just done this. They've followed their target. Like I've mentioned as well, intelligence report had indicated a lot of things have been happening there. Through the various, the periodic clearance operations that the Nigerian Army has been carried out in that axis with the local people. We've been having some of this intelligence report, but when criminals target, focus on a target, they actually know what they want. Investigation is ongoing. The Commissioner of Police, the Director of SSS, the Executive Assistant Security, the whole team went to the scene yesterday to do a comprehensive assessment. We'll take it up from there. We will rework our strategy. And of course, you can be sure that for us in Oyo State, it is not a matter of what color are the criminals. We don't look at color. We don't, profile, Oyo State will go all out for them in collaboration with the grassroots people, and of course in collaboration with our neighboring state, Kwara State.
You did acknowledge that this is an attack, confirming what Governor Seyi Makinde had said, that it's a cross-border attack from Kwara State, and the Orire local government where this took place borders Kwara, I believe. But we have seen steadily how the bandits began penetrating from, bless you, Jeffrey, from Niger State through to Kogi, Kwara State. So isn't this, what appears to be security dropping the ball in that area which borders Kwara? Shouldn't the Oyo State government have been firming up security in border areas, knowing the pressure that has been put on bordering states like Kwara and Kogi, in the past couple of weeks? And then related to that is the forest guards. What form of arms do they have to prepare them for attacks of this nature?
So let me start by first repeating what I've said. What have been prevented are far more than this one-off incident that has just happened. If we've not been proactive, if we've not had the support of the executive governor of the state, maybe we would have had more than this. A whole lot of things have been done underground. A lot of covert operations have been done. I would still repeat it, on a periodic basis. We don't wait, almost on a quarterly basis. Sometimes monthly, we use the GOC office of the 2 Division Nigerian Army to do a periodic clearance operation within that axis, that is the Old Oyo Park, that stretches to Niger State. And I would also still repeat it, if you have strategies, if it is not tested, you won't know whether you have Okafor or what. As to what are those things that the Forest Guard Corps are equipped with, I must confess to you, the Forest Guard is not really, part of, they hardly get involved in the state security structure issue, because just like most governors will say, that, oh yes, we are being controlled from somewhere in Abuja or whatever. Intelligence report had shown that a whole lot of activities have been happening in that axis, which the forest guards have, been involved with. They have FNC rifles and everything. But even when they do what they do, it's not as if they report either to the commissioner of police or whatever. So they go straight through their structure to Abuja. That is why I said we probably need to rework our strategy. Ensure that, yes, these people are in the territory of Oyo State. And, Governor Seyi Makinde had kept on emphasizing that, oh, if you license people to come and do mining, let the state get involved, because the park where this thing have happened, it's, a lot of both illegal and legal activities of mining are ongoing. And once they are arrested or whatever, the issue will be that, oh, we have this license, we have this consent from Abuja and whatever, and the forest guards people deal with them. It has happened. We have been tested, or your state has been tested. These people went for their targets, and you find out that in what they did, it is just their targets they went for. And that is a message as to, oh, something must have been happening within that axis before now. So it is for us to now, after the assessment that we've carried out, to make sure that that does not repeat itself, to make sure that those people that are involved, no matter where they are, that they are brought to justice. And Oyo State is going to do that. And we want to give that assurance to the good people of Oyo State that without any coloration, we're not looking at color, we're not looking at wherever they come from. They are bandits, they are terrorists, and Oyo State will go all out for them.
A quick follow-up on what you said about forest guards. Following President Tinubu's declaration of a security emergency, he did order the training and arming of forest guards, and I'd like to believe that that would be nationwide. So what is the nature of arming that the forest guards in Oyo State have following that instruction by the president? And in the light of circumstances, as a security chief yourself, what would you be recommending?
So the initiative of Mr. President is fantastic. I must also tell you that the initiative that is evolving from the Office of the National Security Advisor, getting the state involved, very fantastic initiative, but it is yet to materialize in some states. The forest guards that are involved are the old forest guards that have been part of the old Oyo Park. It has been there time immemorial. So it is just coming up, and all the states have been, put in the loop. I can say that in Oyo State is being put in the loop to say, oh, we want to strengthen forest guard. We want to devolve certain power to the state as well, in order to have, a hold on the forest guards that are going to be deployed. That is an ongoing measure. And of course, we are not going to wait for that. A lot of collaboration is ongoing between the subnationals, between the state and the federal. The president has been wonderful with the kind of support that is being given by the office of the NSA. This has happened. Like I said, it is for us to rework our strategy to see how we can, collaborate well with this unit of the federal government.
All right. We know that Oyo State is, I wouldn't call it gateway because Ogun is a gateway state, but Oyo State is like a fence of sorts for Ogun and then Lagos. So a lot rests on the shoulder of Oyo State. And in that light, I'd like to ask on the side, what do we know about these terrorists? Are they still in Oyo State, or in forests within Oyo State, or are they gone back to where they came from? Because some said they had intelligence, that they saw movement around 4 days ago of some terrorists in that sense. So they're linking this to what they saw. So maybe you can tell us on the side. But also, is concerns around Amotekun in Lagos, in Ibadan, pardon me, or your state, I should say. Because Amotekun, brilliant idea. We've seen a lot of the big strides, but there are concerns about their remuneration, the promotions, as well as the benefit. Some say that a lot of them have not been promoted. They don't have some sort of benefit. So I'd like you to speak to that as well, because this provides a veritable platform to address these issues, because Amotekun is brilliant if it is handled well.
I must tell you, not being boastful, I want to think, I know the other states in the Southwest would probably want to challenge us. Oyo State is leading when it comes to Amotekun. Oyo State has the, highest number of personnel in Amotekun. In terms of infrastructure and support, and in terms of the wages, Oyo State is the leading state. So we don't have such issue. And I must also tell you, let me repeat it, that the proactive measures that Oyo State has put in place have checked a whole lot of things for the other states that are joining us. So right from when we started getting intelligence report, all throughout December, we have an initiative that will call, instead of responding, let us have a rapid deployment capacity in conjunction with the local actors. That is why we are saying we champion what we call, handshake between the state actors and the non-state actors, which we call integrated security architecture. So Amotekun, within that fringes, with the local hunters have been doing what they are doing. But when you are targeted, like I said, this particular unit of the security agency was targeted. They may know what was behind it, not until when investigation proves, because the bandits that were involved in this went for their target. They meant to do a complete destruction. They went with dynamite, and they knew that these fellows were sleeping in that office, and they went for what they wanted. But we are not going to look at that. It is a test of our capacity and capability in Oyo State, and we will, I can assure you that, as we've always done, they will be haunted. We will make sure that they face the they face the music, and it will also make us to say, okay, we must extend our collaboration. So Amotekun is strong in Oyo State. We are about the strongest in Oyo State. All the wherewithal is provided for them. They are doing a wonderful work in conjunction with the other security agencies within our borders.
Retired Commissioner.
You know, last month, if you followed, we had extended security council meeting with the traditional rulers, with the local government chairman. And we do that almost every week to review our situation. Well, Mr. Osheni, we have to run now, but you've not told us intelligence. Are they still in Oyo, or they have left quickly? They are within that. They have their base in Kwara State. We've been collaborating with Kwara State. You know, we have a joint show of force with Ogun and Lagos. And if it is possible, we bring in Kwara State into it. Okay, so are they still in Oyo, or they have left? I'm just trying to confirm. You know, there are certain things that you won't reveal. Right. Intelligence is going on, and of course, they will hunt them wherever they are. And I think that's something we'll hold on to. We have to thank you so much, Retired Commissioner of Police Fatai Owosheni in Lagos State and Benue State, now the Special Advisor to the Oyo State Governor on Security Affairs. Thank you for your time, and we wish you the very best. Thank you so much. Well, let's switch gears now to politics, the Labour Party politics. Jeffrey.
Let's bring in Mr. Bayomi Arabambi. He's one of the spokespersons of the Labour Party. Mr. Arabambi, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Happy New Year.
I wish you the same. Well, what is playing out in your party? INEC has now spoken clearly to say they do not recognize the Julius Abure-led leadership of the Labour Party based on the reference to that court judgment, I think, in April, as we speak. So they will not be sending codes to you to be able to upload candidates for the FCT area council election that is taking place next month. What do you make of INEC's position as far as this election is concerned?
Well, I think the point is very clear, and let me quickly make a correction. I am now the National Vice Chairman, Southwest of Labour Party, from our NEC meeting, last year. For INEC, I think the person that signed that document, I really don't know whether she has that capacity or she's a lawyer. Because in law, there is something they call ratio decidency and obiter, dictum. When a judge, give an opinion, I want the NBA, if she's a lawyer, I want the NBA to quickly, take a look at such, people within the law profession. When a judge advises, it is not binding. A judge is advising political party generally. Oh, when your tenure expires, endeavor to do an election, or you give yourself an election and say, may I admonish? Let me admonish all political party. But I don't know where this woman that signed that letter, whether if she's a lawyer, I think we might have to take that up with her, because she must understand, or she will go for a refresher course about what they call ratio decidency, upon which a judge will base his judgment, and what they call obiter dictum. If she doesn't understand the differences, she better go to NBA so that they will give her a lecture. Or if she has, collected money from, most of the people who are dumping ship. She can now go and be doing her business with them because the Supreme Court is very clear. It happened in PDP. It happened in NABGA, where Supreme Court said court lacked jurisdiction to interfere in issue of internal affairs of a political party. So I wouldn't know why certain character, I am not blaming the INEC chairman, he just came in. These are some of the characters who have been feeding facts.
My apologies, let me come in here just a moment. As much as you say your position, she's not here to defend herself. INEC has not given you code to access and upload your candidates. That's a fact, right? So I wouldn't believe that she will... Yes, hold on, just hold on. No, so I wouldn't believe that... Just hold on. I'm familiar with the case. So I wouldn't believe that she will write without the consent of the commission. Is that what you're telling me, that the commission is not aware of that letter? Yes, is that what you're saying?
I am coming. They were all together with Professor Mahmoud before, that respectable woman who, was there for some weeks before Professor Amunkriton was appointed. What transpired was that they were all, most of the people, they were working with Governor Lesotho and Mr. Peter Obi, as at the time that matter was in court. But rather than for them to wait and study the judgment, where the court said, whether federal court, court of appeal, or even the Supreme Court, lack jurisdiction to entertain issue on political party, they should follow their constitution. They decided to form themselves a Labour Party too. Some people in INEC there, working with Governor Lesotho, working with Mr. Peter Obi, who has defected now. So what she did was that, let me tell you, in Osun State, was her candidate name was not uploaded. In Ekiti, was her candidate name not uploaded. We have a governorship candidate in this too, but but they were just trying to play to the gallery because Obi defected to ADC. That was what that woman was trying to do. They were only trying to give them a bad name because it is not now. You will now be saying Supreme Court. When you have a chairman who is an SAN that gave us code for primary that I monitor, that I did in Osun, where our government candidate has been uploaded, the one in Ekiti has been uploaded. That was just late last year, only for somebody to now wake up and say Supreme Court. May I ask her, is there anyone that can disobey the order of a Supreme Court in this country politically? When Supreme Court removed the former governor-elect in Bayelsa, he was even training. He was there making preparation for, the swearing on May 29 before Doye Durik comes in. So if somebody says Supreme Court said tenure has expired, did she think we on ourselves, or the people she's supporting, Governor Lesotho and Peter Obi, that I said she's working for, would they not have gone to Supreme Court to seek interpretation? Supreme Court only said that court lacked jurisdiction to make pronouncement on political party, matter. But what I never failed to realize, that is that woman, because I was thinking it was the secretary of the commission that signed it. Secretary is not going to sign it, she's a lawyer. Now, what they did was that our convention, there was no pre-election matter against that convention, and there was no post-election matter. And it's not too bad. And that was why Peter Obi decided to jump ship away from Labour Party with his co-traveler to ADC. And we're also expecting the remaining financier, Governor Lesotho, to follow suit so that we can have peace in our party.
Mr. Arabambi, the INEC representative who signed that statement is not here. So we'd just like to point out that what you're saying remains in the realm of allegation, especially because they're not here to defend themselves. And so, just a word of caution there. But you are saying that, this is a result of a misinterpretation of what should have been an obiter dictum. But what about the point presented by INEC that recognizing the Julius Abure-led group's candidates would be sub judice because there are cases in court, which is contending the eligibility of those candidates. That's on the one hand. And then perhaps you should tell us if or should candidates have been recognized.
That is what I'm telling you. I said all our candidates in Osun, you can go on their website, have been uploaded. And our candidate in Ekiti has also been uploaded. But this woman knew what she was doing. If I did it the first time, I would be seeing somebody on voter education. We are not students. We don't need a training. We don't need any of such advice from her, because what she was saying is aram badadash as far as we are concerned. You don't begin to read meanings to judgment of a court. That is why I said, if she does not, if she's a lawyer, the NBA needs to give her a refresher course. Because you see, some of these lawyers, a lot of them, they are out of service for some time, that they don't go to court. They don't read electoral act, they don't read the constitution. I insist, and I know the NBA president is watching me.
Okay, so what?
The chief justice is watching me. Obiter dictum is not binding. It's not binding.
Mr. Arabambi, pardon me. Why was this,
if I am wrong,
this selective application to the what's it called now, to the judgment of the court? Why wasn't it applied in the case of Oshun, which, according to you, INEC has uploaded your candidates for?
No, this is what happened. You see, as a lawyer, like I said, there are some of them with Professor Mahmoud who are co-travelers with some INEC staff. I'll give you an example. The issue of Action Alliance. If not until when Professor Mahmoud was committed to prison, he will not upload, Rafi Omar's name. If not, he was committed. After Supreme Court judgment, they went to Oshun until when he was committed for 90 days imprisonment. He quickly, when he resigned, he ran away, and they now uploaded it overnight, between Friday and Saturday, was when they uploaded that man's name, when Supreme Court has given their judgment. That is the kind of people we see in this country. Now, as at the time they were doing it, they have gone to National Assembly. They thought that matter would be against us. They removed our name, they removed our logo, and they have, they have collected money, for the National Assembly. Rather than for them to now go back to the National Assembly, they, we have made a mistake. We omitted Labour Party name and logo from the FCT election. They were now trying to just run the circle. And that was why when Mrs. Agbamishe came in, our national chairman was invited, for the quarterly meeting, and even when Professor Amukpiton, came on board. But you see, there are some of these, people in INEC who are co-traveler. I insist, they are co-traveler with Governor Lesotho and Mr. Peter Obi. But because that matter is statute bar, nobody can challenge our convention. It is statute bar in court. You can't go to court about that convention. That was why you see all of them moving in droves, away from our party. But like I said, our candidate in Oshun have been uploaded. Our candidate in Ekiti has also been uploaded. They have given us the access code. But the error they want to cover up because they thought that judgment would be against us in the Supreme Court. And they were already working closely, with Governor Lesotho. They were working hand in hand with Mr. Peter Obi and all those ungrateful elements in Labour Party that went away, to ADC, and we wish them well, in their sojourn.
Well, these are very heavy allegations, Mr. Arabambi, and it will be good to have whatever proof you are relying on to say that indeed these officials of INEC, which is meant to be independent, are now partisan, as you claim. So it's not just a claim, there's evidence to back it. And I must also say that if you go to the INEC's website, which is part of the things people look at, and it just feels more controversy. The national chairman of the Labour Party is said to be Barrister Julius Abure, in bracket, by court order. The national secretary, Omar Farouk Ibrahim, again in bracket, court order. And it just goes on and on like that. So it's just a lot of things that are working almost against themselves. But I want you to speak to what is now happening within the Labour Party. So we saw Mr. Dati Baba Ahmed yesterday. You were behind him, Mr. Julius Abure as well, where he made comments about him not leaving the Labour Party, not joining Mr. Peter Obi, saying that he will run for president at that meeting. And I wonder, what is the game plan here for the Labour Party? Because you still have an Inadi Usman still laying claims to lead the leadership of the party. You've lost majority of those who were elected on the platform of the Labour Party. So really, what is your game plan, Mr. Arabambi?
Well, thank you very much. You see, the crab will always tell you he has a doctor, but you see crab moving sideways. And that is why, in the word of Martin Luther King, he said the ultimate tragedy is not the oppression or cruelty of the bad people, but the silence of the good ones. That was why His Excellency Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed came yesterday to the Labour Party Secretariat to say thank you to the cerebral, to the undisputed, to the indefatigable national leadership of Labour Party led by Barrister Julius Aburi, that I want to thank you because you gave us an opportunity in 2023 that we campaign against the structure of criminality with Peter Obi. We campaign against the structure of corruption with Peter Obi. But I do not see any reason why I have to sleepwalk with him into any coalition because that formula has not changed. That fact has not changed. He came to just appreciate the party yesterday and to ask us, as you want to do more, I want to present myself. I have a lot to do for our country, but thank you first for giving me the opportunity, not like the ungrateful Mr. Peter Obi, not like the ungrateful Victor Ume and the bunch of Senator House of Rep that we gave our ticket to free of charge. But today, the structure we campaign against, the architect of Nigerian misery, the architect of our wars, the people that are poisoning the system are the same people they went to join who are now shamelessly presenting themselves as the Messiah.
All right, Mr. Arabambi, we're totally out of time, Mr. Arabambi. I hope when you're called upon to present all of your evidence, you'll be there. This is politics. In the words of one of the politicians I heard recently say it's a game. So we're here to give everybody a chance, a voice, to air their own opinion. But must do these things with facts and not just allegations. But must thank you. Wish your party the very best. Mr. Arabambi is the, Abayomi Arabambi is the South-South Vice Chairman of the Labour Party. Southwest, I should say. Southwest Vice Chairman of the Labour Party. I didn't know you've been elevated, but congratulations to you. So we'll be touching base with you as much as possible to see how it goes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And good.
That's interesting days.
We should have a part 2 of that.
Yeah, no, I'm particularly excited for the coming days because there's going to be a lot of drama. So right now, what we call this in politics is hot hair. Everybody's right until they are eventually wrong. And then the winner takes the win. Well, thank you for your time and company.
More hot air ahead for you tomorrow. So join us. I am Bukola Koka.
I have a poser for you, though. Who benefited more? Was it Mr. Peter Obi that benefited more from the Labour Party? Or Labour Party benefited more from Mr.
No, this election will show.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm Kayode Kikiolu, Sunrise Daily Next. Goodbye.